social media? You know what I'm saying? Does he have kids? I kind of want to take some sort of angle, and not to come at the kids, but I just want to take some sort of angle. But I got kids. But what it is, but what it is though, what it is with the children.
What up? What up? This is Gemstones representing Gemstones for life, and you are in the field with Trackstar. You already know what it is.
Yeah, back in the field with the Trackstarz, Ryan Writer, SEANTANA, DJ Jeremiah. This is brought to you by Audible.com. Go to audibletrial.com/Trackstarz to get a free audiobook on us. It's also brought to you by Wrath and Grace. Go to wrathandgrace.com to get some of the clothing that we wear in the studio, man. Shout out to Wrath and Grace for providing the gear for us. Also go to Trackstarz.com to get the latest, man. Some really good articles going up on Trackstarz.com, man. Shout out to the writing team of Trackstarz. They're killing it.
Yeah, man.
Ashley Korth runs that squad, and they are just amazing, man.
Great articles. Go check them out.
So if you write and you good like that, hit us up and we'll get Ashley on you. See if you got what it takes. But anyway, go to Trackstarz.com. Also follow us on Twitter at Trackstarz, Facebook at Trackstarz, YouTube at The Field Trackstarz. Just find us everywhere, man, and follow what we're doing. Every community has a different audience, so get up on all of them so you can see everything we do. All right, so we were going to do a noteworthy, and one of them is super duper interesting, but I want Ryan to be here for that one. So we got Loso in the building, man. So I had some questions about this battle rap thing. So these guys are like battle rap fans. Jeremiah, the dude that normally sits here, Rick Sincere, Miles Austin, everybody basically on our music team, they just soak it up, man. They love it. It's interesting, man. How do you prepare as a Christian for a battle? It's just amazing. The level of intricacy in the bars for battle rap is a whole nother level. How do you prepare? What are you thinking about as a Christian when you're going into that?
Yeah, well, as far as for a Christian, you kind of get into this tension because you got to coincide with Scripture. You know what I'm saying? I can't forget about who I am. So, are there certain things that are off limits? Because I'm a Christian, am I not allowed to say things? So one, I had to coincide that, but then I kind of look at it as like any other sport. Like if you had a Christian UFC fighter, are you going to tell him,
punch him in the face?
Yeah. Hey, don't make him bleed. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't make him tap out. You know what I'm saying? Like, you still want to go into that cage, and you got to understand that this dude is trying to knock you out.
Yeah.
So as a Christian, I'm going in, and I think if you look at the saga, if you look at Street Hymns, you look at any other dude who's doing it, the difference between us and the majority of battle rappers, because other battle rappers do it, but the difference between us and the majority of it is that we always take an angle and approach on our opponent. So I do my homework. So if I get a dude on my agenda or next up to date, like this next dude, I want to go ahead and find out, all right, let me see, where's he from? Let me see his last couple battles. What have they been mentioning? Anything on social media, you know what I'm saying? Does he have kids? I kind of want to take some sort of angle, and not to come at the kids, but I just want to take some sort of angle. But
you got kids?
But what it is, but what it is though, what it is with the children though,
nobody's safe. Nobody's safe.
But what it is with that though is that you want to take the format of like, all right, well, if he's always in his rounds talking about killing this and killing that, let's go ahead and flip the script. You know what I'm saying? So I usually get at least a month to prepare for myself. People usually take shorter time or longer time, but I usually get at least a month. Do my homework. I'll write. I'll rehearse for at least 2 weeks. And then after that, man, it's just to go up there and perform. Then while he's rapping, you kind of want to throw in some rebuttals, some freestyles. That's
what I was going to ask you. How much of it is off the top? Like, because some of it is performance, right? It's like you're doing a piece that you prepare, but how much of it do you actually change on the spot?
Yeah, it really depends on the battle. So like the last one I did in Atlanta where Double was in there, that was the most freestyle I was doing. Period. I think I was freestyling in every round at least. And so because he was doing certain things that I was like, oh, cool. Now that I hear this, I can go ahead and capitalize on this. So, or even what the crowd is giving me. If the crowd is doing something, there was this girl that was real loud in the crowd in the last battle, and I got to utilize it, and it shook the room. You know what I'm saying? Shook the room. So, and people appreciate that. You know what I'm saying? They appreciate that level of artistry. So, I always try to take it to another level in each battle that I do. You definitely see the progression from my first one. That was my third one. So, April 23rd in Atlanta, downtown Atlanta, would be my fourth one in the Bullpen Battle League. And yeah, man, looking forward to doing something.
So
different.
now, what's the difference between writing a song and writing for this format? Is it a major difference?
Yeah, I think way more freedom. Way more freedom. I mean, with a song, you there's a pocket that you gotta stay in. Yeah, and you can do different things in that pocket. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, it's almost like. Basketball. Like you got to take 2 steps before you go shoot the ball. Right. You can either do a Euro step. You know what I'm saying. You can do a hop step, but it can only be 2. Right. In street ball, you know what I'm saying. You can put the ball behind your back. You know what I'm saying. You can do whatever you want. Yeah. You know what I'm saying. So in battle rap, the cadence is just free. So I could take pauses. I could joke around. I necessarily don't have to rhyme on a certain pattern, but it's just way more freedom. So preparing for a song, I stay in a specific context and content, but with the battle rap, man, it's just free reign.
But here's what I'm confused by.
Yeah.
Why doesn't any of those metaphorical skills, why don't people pull that into their songs? I know you guys can. Yeah. I just feel like the metaphors that I hear in battle rap are just like next level. Like it's so intricate. They come around, they bring stuff back up. Why can't we do that in the music? Yeah. Is there a problem with it?
I think it's the fan base, really. I don't think it's so much the art. Like, for instance, like Lecrae. If you hear Lecrae rap, whenever I listen to Lecrae, I don't ever grade Lecrae's lyricism based on what he's doing, because I know that there's a specific audience that's buying his music. Right. And let's just be honest. Yeah. It's predominantly white people. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like the white churches are the ones that are bringing Lecrae out. It's not the hip hop culture filled churches. You know what I'm saying? Because they don't necessarily got the money to bring out a Reach Records artist. That's real. So if Lecrae's going out there, like you could definitely see a song like God Is Enough, right? Off of his Rehab album. And you could hear that and you could say, man, why is he not doing punchlines or wordplay or something like that? But there's sometimes where he is doing that. So
so you think he's intentionally holding punches?
Yeah, I think all of them are intentionally doing it. But then sometimes you hear Andy Mineo and KB, they are strategically writing certain raps that are creative and are intricate. But for the most part, I do think that the fan base causes the artists, at least in CHH, not all the time. I just think maybe some artists, they just don't do it. They just don't do it because they can't.
Here's my real question.
Yeah.
Is it easier to be metaphorically creative when you're kind of being arrogant, right? Like you're basically saying, I'm gonna kill you and everything you got, right? Isn't it easier to be creative in that way than if you, because I'm sure part of it is nobody wants you as a Christian artist to get up and be like, yo, I'm killing it, I'm better than all of this. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't cross over well. But isn't that easier to write?
Way easier.
You know what I'm saying?
You always, every time I'm listening, I'm just like, man, if I had free reign to go ahead and talk about whatever, it would have been a rap. But the thing about it though is that I think it even that's why I think some of the most talented rappers are Christian rappers. You know what I'm saying? When Shaolin stays in a specific context of just Jesus, but he's literally putting words and multis and metaphors, and like he gets overlooked, period. But when a dude like Shaolin does that and doesn't give you one bar that directs him to the spotlight, I think
that's amazing.
I think, you know what I'm saying?
It's so easy to be like, yo, I'm this and you that, or I'm this, and it's easy to do that, and we still do. Honestly, Christian rappers still do it. And I think in the past, how we used to get away with it is demon. You know what I mean? Like, you can kill a demon and nobody cares, but you start killing other rappers. It's like, hey, hold on, chill. So,
for instance, like on Andy Mineo's Neverland, you know what I'm saying? He has a line that he says, I'm leaving rappers like Apple. I'm doing rappers like Apple, leave them with no jobs. You know what I'm saying? And you like, dang, that's a tough bar. That's real creative. But it was also kind of arrogant.
Can you know
say that? Like what? Like how do you really? But you can appreciate the content, the art, and then obviously you kind of want to be like, what do you mean? Well, and then now back in the day we'll do a demon, but now we kind of what do? We fall back to the argument of, well, it's the Lord that's kind of blessing you. You know what I'm saying? I want to honor him.
But the lines are a little bit more blurry now. You know what I'm saying? And
that's real.
Yeah, the lines are more blurry now, so you can make it about yourself, because a lot of people are taking the Christian off of their name anyway. So,
and what's interesting, because like if I write and I'm like, dang, I And the only freedom I've had, we did it back in Destinations days. We did this joint called Don't You Agree, the Fighting Temptations, and I was playing the role of Pride or whatever. So I went in because they me.
You was
they
like,
me.
let me tap into my pride.
I'm going in on I'm going in on Temptation, and it was just like, you know what I mean? Like I felt free, but we can't really do that. I wonder if that holds people back because they really want to. You know what I mean?
Do you think people? Do you think battle rappers, and maybe not you, are just great at songwriting? They're so great. They're so great at
the bar,
in their lane, but they might not be that great at songwriting.
Yeah,
because there's some greats. I mean, like there's some great like battle rappers. Period. But you don't. Why aren't they?
Right. Look at Cassidy. Like if you look at Cassidy, like if you just hear him spit, oh my goodness. Yeah. But look at his. He didn't make great songs.
Yeah.
And he had one of the great. He had one of the greatest producers ever over him, but he couldn't really make great songs. I think what you guys do is so creative. Yeah. I think you're so creative that maybe all the creative activity goes into that, and but look at singers that are great songwriters. They usually don't have a great career. I just think it's like you're so great at this thing that maybe some of them aren't as really as great. And like you were at City Takers last night. You have songs that you perform when you do those songs, they're great performance songs. I wouldn't know that you were a battle rapper. You know what I'm saying? When I hear those songs, I don't really think everybody. I think that's your like maybe one of a kind in that because I just don't think most battle rappers are great songwriters. And then there's the thing of like you want integrity and you want to have integrity in your craft. You might not want to get let me go hire a songwriter to write these kind of dope hooks for me. Yeah.
Or you don't want to sound like
or you don't want to sound like that. You don't want to sound like that. Yeah.
That's really what it is. I mean, I do think that the battle rappers themselves, though, they can't necessarily think of it as a diss when someone says you're just a battle rapper. You know, nowadays because battle rappers, I mean, you got to think about it, bro. These top dudes in the URL, they're making about $10,000 for 9 minutes of work. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So, like to say you're just a battle rapper doesn't really hold the same weight as it did back in the day. You know what I'm saying? So with Cassidy, he did have a couple hits, but I mean, that really just goes to show you just with the team around you. So somebody like 50 Cent, he wasn't making those songs. He'll even tell you, he has an interview on YouTube right now where he was just going in there and all he was doing was just writing the 16s. He was just writing his 16s, but all those other songs, all the hit records, they were already made. The beats were made. And 50 only had to go in there and just rap it.
That's most rappers with a budget.
Yeah.
Even in Christian rap.
Yeah. No, that's okay.
I would do it.
Yeah. That's true.
I would do
it. No say no names, but
I'm gonna get myself in trouble
again. What you talking about, though?
That's funny.
What are you referring to?
I have a question though. Like just seeing it, like, is URL the ultimate goal for people? Yeah. Like, because I think like watching other battle leagues, and it seems like okay, if you on URL, you like made it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And to me, sometimes, being the person watching different leagues, like I always felt like King of the Dot is cool, and then URL, like I always feel like URL is like NBA and King of the Dot is the Olympics. You know what I'm saying? Because in the Olympics you're looking at every type of thing. You know what I'm saying? Versus URL is like street NBA. You know what I'm saying? So my thing is like, is that your goal? Is like get on one of those platforms? Yeah,
URL is definitely the NBA. They're definitely the best competition. Is definitely the NBA. But what I think John's doing, or I think it's so dope what he's doing in Atlanta, is that he's raising talent up and he's building a platform where you could be the man here and URL's gonna need to put you on there. And if they don't put you on, they're gonna be messing something out. You see what I'm saying?
That's good.
So that's what he's kind of trying to do with me, build me up and get me battles and do something where I could go ahead and generate views on my own, which I was already doing before Bullpen, but generate views on your own, and then to the point where URL has to, or you'll be some sort of a threat to them. You see what I'm saying? So at the same time though, you do want to go on URL just for one, I mean, you got to think about it. You growing up watching battle rap, that was the platform. You see what I'm saying?
Smack.
Murder Moog, Loaded Lux, like it's history over there.
Yeah.
So why not go ahead and bless the stage?
Yeah.
At the same time, though,
'cause you know what they're gonna do.
Yeah,
you know they're gonna be like you and Saga, Easter Sunday.
Yeah,
they're gonna have y'all battling.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's what they're gonna do. I know.
Yeah.
I know how people think. Like when they
all the time, If every time I go on my Twitter, and I'm sure he sees it too, every time they always say Los versus Saga, Los versus Saga.
They said it on here a couple times.
Right? Yeah. You see what I'm saying? Like Los versus Saga. And this is the thing. I'll just go ahead and say it for anybody listening. I will never battle the Saga.
Okay.
I will never battle the Saga for this reason. One, I think both of our missions and our campaigns is the same. You see what I'm saying? And what we want to do with the culture, and how we want to infiltrate it, I think that would be counterproductive. You see what I'm saying? Two, man, our opponents for the rest of our lives will have a field day on us if we battled each other. You know what I'm saying? They were like, "Oh, you battled your brother, Judas, this, that, and that." You know, so many different angles they could definitely get on us. And three, I think that there's so many other dudes out there that we could go ahead and direct our attention and stuff and our time, that'll just be different. You know what I'm saying? I hear all the time, John's even, he's even pushed it, you know what I'm saying? And don't get me wrong, like the thought of it, because Rapzilla, they did they do that 16 bar competition, which I wanted. And so they've always entertained the thought of just, well, why don't we just do something like that where you guys are kind of just rapping and showing
not
off
at
skill.
each other, but just one at a time.
But I know URL and look, right now this is where I stand. I'm pretty sure he stands the same way. I haven't spoken to him, but I'm pretty sure. But at the same time, though, I do think though that it is gonna come up, and money's even gonna get thrown into the conversation, and that's gonna be the tough part. You know what I'm saying?
Like Christians.
when they throw money,
would you do it for 100,000?
I'll give you my time. I'll give you my time money for the next year.
For 100,000.
Like somebody say $100,000. You and Saga 3 rounds. That's something I wouldn't even want to.
You said never on the Trackstarz. You said never.
Said never.
Yeah, I would have to say never. Yeah,
I think it'd be dope if y'all do it 2-on-2 together.
Yeah,
that's what I was going to say.
That would be dope.
All right, real quick, we gonna end on this because we about to do our own version of a battle in a second. But how far? 2 questions. How far can you get, and how far can a Christian get? Can you really see a Christian getting all the way to the top of this battle league stuff?
Yeah, I definitely can, man. One thing that I have learned about the culture is that they appreciate skill. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're not gonna because what you're talking about doesn't necessarily and directly resonate with them. It's secondary. Like, they want to know, like, do you have bars? You know what I'm saying? Are you coming up here and saying stuff? And these dudes, last event in Atlanta, my first time over there against dudes that they've been battling for years. You know what I'm saying? So they're grabbing my shirt, they're going crazy, they're screaming and stuff. And so I could see that they definitely appreciate the skill behind it. At the same time, though, I'm a firm believer, man. If the Lord, if the Lord wills, there's really nothing. The fact that the Saga is today gonna be on stage, with Charlie Clips and John and Big T at the same time. You know what I'm saying? In a 2-on-2. It's crazy. It's just the Lord.
That's amazing what y'all doing.
The Lord. So I think
they're gonna bring you up in a battle. I got a kid.
Yeah,
named Loso. He got you.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. So it's just, and John's already doing, like, he's been. He probably is bringing it up. Yeah. Now that you say that, but I'm just saying, like, I am a firm believer that if the Lord wills, man, He would definitely do it. And it's looking. I'm not saying nothing, but it's looking like it's even going towards that direction. If I just stay faithful, if I just stay diligent in what I need to do. I do think by the end of this year, man, I could definitely be on the Smack stage. And
that's awesome, man. Well, I'm glad y'all are there, man, because we need people working in that area, and I'm glad y'all got the confidence to do it. That's amazing. All right, man, let's get back into it. You in the field with the Trackstarz, Ryan Righteous, SEANTANA, DJ Jeremiah. Let's go!
rappinggrace.com. Our mission here to spread the gospel with our clothing and way of life.
What's the gospel?
Jesus Christ is God in the flesh,
who came to save sinners.